Buenos noches, Van Fam. It's just me tonight. Psych. We would never do that. I know no one would tune in, but
Just kidding.
no, we're joined by Allie and Moon. Of course, everyone's here. It's a full family affair. Even Huck and Terrier are here. And let's start the night off with a Moon cam.
Did you just say hi?
There's our Terrier right there. There's Huckleberry, and then in her specialist of outfits, let's get a little shot of that.
I believe this outfit was from Michaela.
Michaela Walker is in the chat already,
She's
so
here.
look at that. What a special outfit.
She's just now starting to fit into a lot of the things that you guys gave us, so I think you'll see them more.
If you're wondering, does she wear your stuff? Hopefully soon when she
does.
fits in it. That's the key.
She just gained a lot of weight, and I have to show you, guys.
We probably have an 11-pound Moon. Let's just be honest here, guys.
Look at how big this moon is.
It's an enormous moon. It's an enormous moon, and it's an enormous moon.
Say hi, moon.
Okay, let's jump into chat as we do and see who's here. Kathy Tracy in the house. It's David Strausser. David, we're going to be addressing some things tonight. I think you know what I'm talking about. Bruce, the crazy kiter, checking in. Looks like they were having a bit of a chat. Love to see that in the Van Fam. Laura Hope is in the house.
Here.
Made a delish chicken salad. That's right up your alley.
Yeah.
Who else do we have? Mary Fightin. Pickle juice is great for restless legs.
Oh, I love pickle juice. It's probably because you get cramping, and pickle juice actually helps with there's like salt in it, right? So it helps with
Indigestion?
no, like not electrolytes, but it helps with what's the other thing called? My brain
Stepped on
doesn't
that.
work.
Stepped on. I had to cut you off there. Stepped on that like button this time, as says Kevin Fitzgerald.
Thank
Last
you,
week,
Kevin.
if we all remember, he stomped it.
He stomped on
awesome.
it. He stepped on it today.
Who else do we have? Sherilyn Schofner. Foxy Babe, says Sherilyn. Really, truly Foxy Babe. Beck is here. Blue Fingers, our friend from down
Hi,
under.
Beck.
And it's Michelle
Sherry's
Chester.
here.
Sherry R's in the house. Pamela Williams in chat.
Pamela's here.
Good to see you. Uh-oh.
Is there something I can help you with?
Chunk of Monk, says David. Lisa B is here. Hey, Lisa. Who else do we have?
Lisa. Hi, Allison.
Good to see all of you guys in chat early on.
Matilda.
Very nice. Rana Jane, our Patreon member.
Rana's here.
Joe Mar. Good to see you again this week, Joe Mar. Who do we have? Who do we have? Word Woman, another Patreon exclusive.
Jeff.
Lori, it's Lori. We love to see Lori in chat.
Hi, Lori.
Well, guys, we've had quite the week since we talked to you last, in good ways. You know, we're now in our nice, well, far from nice, but we are in our permanent residence.
I dare say that, let's see, most people I know would not really have a shower in our shower.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
But don't worry, Moon still gets her showers. We just hold her, obviously, the whole time.
Nathan Heath says, binge watching your videos, trying to catch up. I'm about 5 months behind. Well, spoiler alert, we had a baby. Welcome to the Van Fam.
Thank you for joining us, Nathan, and getting caught up.
Missy says, Maya has changed so much in a week. She's really filling out such a beauty.
Yeah, I actually put something on her today and was like, this almost doesn't fit.
Yeah.
She grew so much this week. Truly, truly a really big girl.
A full moon, as we've been saying, guys. A full moon.
Aren't you moony?
We have some really good sleep reports to give you guys. We're going to talk Kohberger stuff because there have been some interesting things
Yeah.
out in the ether.
developments and things going around.
One particular that Mr. David Strausser shared with us that we listened to together a few nights ago really stood out to us. So we're going to get your guys' thoughts on that and see what if you guys have heard about it.
Hi, girl.
Okay, who else do we have? Deb's in the house. She says, hi, guys. Hi, right back at you.
Hi, Deb. Chris is here.
Chris Johnson in the house. Hi, Allie Dan plus Huck and Pig. Larry Mack, buenos noches, amigos. Very good to see Larry Mack.
Buenos noches.
Let's see, who do we have here? William with a comment. Xana's mom, Kara Kernoodle, arrested August 25th for trafficking heroin and meth along with drug possession, bailed out, rearrested November 24th. Don't believe me, look it up. This is getting crazy. Spot on, William.
Yeah.
That was a big revelation
That's a big,
that we came across as well. She was arrested shortly after the incident, but the drug trafficking thing,
So now I feel, are we getting into it now or?
Charlene and Jean, not quite yet, because Charlene and Jean have kicked off the night with a $50 super chat. Wowzers, Charlene and Jean. Thank you very much. What do they say? Hello, Allie, Dan, Maya, Huck, Pig. No, he said, and Ann Ferrier. They're going old school with Ann Ferrier. Happy times together in the van fam. Thank you guys so much for that generous super chat. What happened to the place Dan had last year? Mark Marshall asks. Okay, so same owner is where we're in now. He has, those were studios last year. And I honestly don't know. Okay? I think I might have liked the studios a little better. But we're in the one bedrooms that are just next door.
Are you getting fussy?
Guys, let's go over to Crying Cam with Moon. Here she is.
Are you getting a little fussy?
Moon, with such a pretty outfit, you really shouldn't be crying. What's wrong? She needs a nap, possibly.
Okay.
She's
I have an idea.
she's here crying on Sunday Night Live. I mean, I didn't even know such a thing existed. I'll give you guys a little bit of a shot of the place. So that's our bedroom. It's a king bed. I must say that is nice. The sheets are. This place is just run down. It's just been I think a lot of people like to party, rent these places. We don't do that so much. So we stayed in two really cute Airbnbs that had just a very clean, homey vibe to them, and now we're here. The guy that rents it to us is a great guy, but these places just need a little bit of TLC, I think. So, not quite what I was expecting, unfortunately, but we're making the most of it, and we're only going to be here temporarily, so it's good for now. Who do we have?
Yeah, it's good to not move our stuff every 4 seconds, but
Dewey Weber's in the house.
It's a dump.
It's a dump.
The sink doesn't work.
Sink
There's
does
no
not work.
stove. The kitchen in the van is better than the kitchen here.
By a country mile. Okay, who else do we have? People are shouting out Charlene and Jean. I love to see that. It seems like Moon is advanced with everything. She's definitely making some physical changes. She's growing. I mean, she's growing so quick. Now, unfortunately for us, we do Sunday Night Live in the night, 5 p.m. Pacific time, and that's when she tends to be the fussiest. So we are just hoping that she holds it together for Sunday Night Live tonight, because we got some important stuff. Okay, let's see what's going on, guys. Ask Charlene and Jean about the twin brothers from Vancouver Island, Dan. I haven't heard about anything going on.
Yeah. I wouldn't let her touch the floor in here.
Yeah. Mary Carter says, she's acting like she wants to play on the floor. Couldn't pay me to play on this floor, Mary, unfortunately. Okay. Kenzie C is in the house. Hey, Kenzie, welcome. Margaret Coxhead is here. And Tracy Scholl from Adelaide, welcome. Love to see you. It's Shelly Fitzgerald. She's here. Okay, so hot was it today? How hot was it today? Maybe that's what Bruce is asking. It's pretty much 75 and sunny every day here. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it or make it sound worse than it is. It's pretty perfect. Very windy today. I wanted to update you guys on how we kind of operate here because we're learning. We have a lot of friends in town, and they go out. They love to go out to dinner after a big day on the water. They love to get together, kiting and all that stuff, going biking. But we have a whole new way of life now that we have Moon because we can't leave Moon, on her own, unfortunately, which is standard for the job. But we are able to switch off. And so, like this morning, for example, we both woke up. I went for a bike ride. Allie stayed here. Moon naps really well in the morning, so she stayed here, had a workout. And then my friends were going up the beach to do what's called a downwinder, which is where the wind just pulls you down to kind of right where our casita is. And then I get in the van and I take Allie up and I wear Moon and she goes to sleep and I drop her off for a downwinder and then she gets back. She was back about 4:30 today. So it's been, and she's back now. Speaking of being back, she's back and Moon is wrapped up and we have a quiet Moon. Okay, so.
This is how she likes this.
Someone's hitting me up. Oh.
This is she gets wrapped up. We put the hat on her and cover her eyes and then put the pacifier in and it just makes, I don't know, it's like she knows that it's nap time and it works out pretty well most of the time. But we found, we go out to dinner with some friends here and we found there's like a point where it's too much and she starts to cry. And then I think what's happening is she might be getting a little overstimulated. So
very, very
we
possible.
are kind of, as soon as she starts to get a little bit fussy, we just kind of hit the door. So we kind of eat and have like an hour or so, I guess, with friends. And
it kind of works out, honestly.
Yeah, and then we can come back here and just be with her.
There's a lot of lollygagging that happens where people will, we go out to dinner and we'll sit around. And I kind of like to go out to dinner, have a good time, and then end dinner and go home and get ready for a good night's sleep and stuff like that. So I've never been much of a lollygagger, but it's just something about here. You're always kind of with when you come to La Ventana a bunch, and you come to the same basically beach town, you tend to know everybody after a while, know a lot of people at least, and so we get a good interaction over dinner, and then I like to end it and get home. But some people will sit around for 2 hours or more and just
to come say
lollygag.
Hi, apparently.
Guys, it's Brother Huck. Let's do a sound effect for Brother Huck. How about that? Welcome, Huck. Sorry about that noise I made there.
You just wanted to come give Mama some love? Look at this.
This guy is just the sweetest. How's Huck doing? That's what Chris Johnson wants to know, and I think a lot of people do.
Thank you for asking. Huck's recovery has been a lot different looking than his other one. I think I was a bit of a psycho about it, and this time it's just difficult because people will come by and say hi, and then he'll go to the door, and it's just hard. I don't know. I mean, obviously I have a baby in my hands.
Yeah.
75% of the time, and it's difficult, but I'm still able to ice it every morning. We put it on ice, and he gets some ibuprofen for, inflation.
Speaking of ibuprofen,
inflammation.
Need to hit the vitamin I.
But I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's healing like it did last time.
Bruce asking all the right questions tonight. He said, "How is inflation compared to last year?" It sucks. Everything's more expensive. Everybody's up in their prices. We did get a good deal. I mean, I think it was a good deal on this place. I don't really know.
Yeah, the accommodation was still very inexpensive,
Yeah,
but
kind of.
well, you don't get a lot for it. I guess that's why it's so inexpensive. But the restaurants have increased their prices, but there are still plenty of, not plenty. There's a handful of places where you can get a decent meal for under $5, whatever,
Yeah, or
or
like
five-ish.
five. If we go out, we'll spend anywhere between $10 and $15. So, I mean, that's
It's
obviously really
okay.
good.
Yeah.
That's just on food. Sometimes we do like margarita happy hours where you get 2 for 1. Then you're looking at more like $20. So overall, I think it's fine, but it's just the prices are going up like crazy.
But we have found a place to get, fish and shrimp and whatever, so we are able to eat that.
I wanted to touch on Sherry's comment here. She says, "My daughter and I used to call that psycho baby time. My grandbaby did that at the same time of the evening. Warning: she will keep doing it as she gets older." At least you're honest with
Or they
us.
call it the something hour.
Witching hour?
The witching hour. She's fine. She needs two things in this evening. It just happens to be really close together. So like in the morning, she'll take long naps and it'll go like every 3 hours. In the evening, it's like every other hour she needs another bottle and then she needs to sleep again, and she kind of has to be put to sleep. So she gets fussy, and it just kind of is a cycle. Eat a little bit of awake time, then she gets fussy, then it's a nap time, and that just keeps kind of happening in the evening. So there's no sort of, it's all just kind of like constantly moving. She won't take like a long
Okay.
nap.
Where was that interview with the mom of the daughter at Washington State University? That's
Kim.
Kim.
Um,
Where was that interview? Chronicles of Olivia YouTube channel? Is that what you said?
yes.
I'm not seeing it here. Pull it up
Let me find it.
and see which one it is.
So David sent us actually two good videos this week. And let me see.
David is looking a little less crazy as time goes on when it comes to his Bryan Kohberger Idaho murders theories. I will say that.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm kind of in
Here
the
it is.
David camp now, to be honest. Something stinks with this case. It smells
Something.
like the shrimp I just peeled for over an hour.
Oh, the video's now private.
The video is now private.
Okay, so basically, what's going on is I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard, and please correct us when we are wrong, and we can answer that. Correct us when we are wrong and chime in, because there is a mother who's gone out to say that remember how we were all like, why didn't she call until noon the next day? It's like, that's nuts. Why would you do that? First off, maybe they were partying, maybe she slept in. We were all kind of giving her the benefit of the doubt. But now some things have come out that make it sound like that's not really what's going on.
Sherry says, "I'm not
was
believing that Kim
people
lady."
have found that's possible. She could be making up all this up, or it could have just been like hearsay that she kind of
Yeah.
kept putting together things. And
So now that the video is taken down, I'm starting to think maybe it was maybe not as I was. It was a very convincing phone conversation that was posted. So
that mother needed to put the pipe down. What does that mean? You think she was smoking crack?
I don't know. It was a crazy.
I got the feeling from the call, and I could be wrong. I'm not saying it's not factual. This is just my opinion. I got the feeling that there are drugs involved, and that there was also potentially somebody trying to. I got the feeling in the call they were trying to make sense that it was not just Bryan, that it was potentially some other people involved. and that it didn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but it did bring on some new theories of what could have possibly happened. And I seem to believe that potentially there were, I don't know.
The thing is,
But if they went in there to murder people over money over drugs, it had to have been a lot of drugs that they were moving, and I just can't believe that.
yeah, that's a good point. And also, these are 20-year-olds. Like,
Right.
they're not. So, I mean, the phone call was like pretty interesting. I was very intrigued to listen to it. But I did have some thoughts of like, well, like these are 20-year-olds. These are not masterminds. Like these 20-year-olds, I mean, if you get them in an interrogation room with the FBI and the local police and they're grilling you, at least one of them's going to crack and be like, oh, here's what actually happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was kind of thinking that when I was listening to the phone call, and I'm like, But, when this woman, whoever it was laying out a lot of this stuff and talking about, a lot of the different scenarios with the roommate, and it did spark some like, this is just really strange. It's just really, really strange.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, somebody said a lot of that. Kenzie says a lot of it was hearsay and secondhand, which is
Yeah.
why it's
True.
like I feel like she was kind of like going to the nth degree with some things, but the fact that it not all of it added up, and there might be some sort of narrative that the kids are saying that I'm on board with. That would make sense why. But again, there must be some stuff that the police know that we don't. I mean, somebody has to have cracked by now.
If there's anything to crack, yeah, somebody has to have cracked. Um, yeah, it is on Drunk Monkey. I saw that someone posted, so it is there, or at least
Drunk turkey.
Drunk Turkey, right? And then the whole like,
Yeah.
the whole the mom of one of the victims being a drug trafficker. That also is like, geez,
Yeah.
that's a
Could
little
they
weird.
be? Could somebody have been going after her daughter because of something she did?
I wonder what Sherry, are you saying Olivia's nuts or the woman that called in was nuts? She might be nuts, but man, she sounded pretty convincing on the phone. I was
Yeah.
like glued to that.
I think that I think she's onto something. I just think she was a little like gung ho on some things that she might not have known were very true.
Shelly makes a good point. She says those kids didn't look like druggies.
No.
Yeah,
not
they
at
did not
all.
at all. These are
They
not.
looked clean. They looked normal.
I was a
Cute,
20-year-old.
happy, hair,
I was a 20-year-old at Oregon State, and like there were like some kids that were dealing drugs that you'd heard about and stuff, but they were just like so small time. They're getting there. It's just like a quadruple murder would have to
Also,
mean
I'm
like.
sorry, but like it'd be like marijuana, not heroin and stuff like that.
Well, no, I
Right?
mean,
Or is heroin a party drug?
no, it's certainly not a party drug.
Yeah. So it
but
wouldn't. Yeah.
yeah, who knows what was going on? They definitely didn't look like they were doing fentanyl, heroin, meth. They didn't look like so. I don't know what they could be dealing that would get them in so much crap
Right.
with Bryan Kohberger. And Bryan Kohberger doesn't look like a drug kingpin by any means. I know he definitely looks a bit cuckoo, a lot cuckoo, but he doesn't look like. He looks just more creepy and crazy than anything.
Yeah.
David sent a photo of the surviving roommate at the door with police was wearing Van shoes, and the shoe print was a Van's shoe.
Yeah. So it's like, did she go have a look and come back to her room? Okay, the other thing that was interesting that David sent was Kaylee was logged in and live on her LinkedIn at a certain time. I want to say 11 p.m. on the 13th. And then her sister was looking at it and screenshotted it at one something. It's all just like really, yeah, exactly. It's all just like really interesting. And I guess I don't understand exactly what that, um, how that has to play in it. So if anybody has any ideas of how the whole LinkedIn,
I
somebody
don't.
being logged on to LinkedIn, and she got a message on her LinkedIn saying, "You're cute." Did anyone confirm who that came from? I
I,
didn't see who
I
that
don't know,
came
but
from.
the LinkedIn stuff doesn't really mean anything to me.
Well, yeah, but it said she was live after she had
Everyone's
passed
saying
away. So
that that
somebody
lady's
was.
a nut job. I'm starting to think. I'm starting to think. I maybe took it. I just listened to it once and didn't do. I didn't. We've been so busy. I didn't have enough time to really dig into what other people were saying on YouTube. So yeah, I did have a few. I mean, I was like, wow, this. Maybe there was some question. There are in my head some questions that need to be answered about like some of the behavior of the people that were there, but I'm sure the police have. These are 20-year-olds that are going to crack under pressure. So
I thought you guys might like a brief uh, chance to see how cute Moon
a
looks,
moon
how cute Huck
intermission.
looks, and Pig is chasing flies.
Pig is chasing flies. Okay, let's go over to Moon Cam. There's a lot of flies in here. It's another thing. There's
Piggy, are you
ants.
getting the
There's
flies?
flies, and then there's this little moon character. She's out like a light.
Huckleberry, look at how cute Huck is sitting.
Mr. Huck.
Huckleberry.
He's healing fine. We're praying for your good health, Huck. Holy moly! So
So,
that's
so back to that. Does anybody have anything to say about the LinkedIn?
the LinkedIn. Let's see. Let's see here. Laura Hope said she wants about 10 margaritas, and here she's saying I partied Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in college. That's not uncommon, and I'm not surprised to hear that from Laura Hope. Ethel in the house.
Yeah, okay. Everyone
Joni's
says
saying she's
she's
a
a
nut
nut
job.
job. Yeah.
Cuckoo.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. But does anyone agree that there may have been like, I don't know.
Um,
Remember Brian was using heroin in high school?
yeah,
That's crazy. I didn't even know what heroin was in high school.
Well, I'd heard of it, but so that was another reason where I was like, yeah, Brian used to be like into drugs, so maybe he moved on to like selling drugs, and then he went to
Usually people who do drugs and
getting
then
really
sell
big.
drugs don't do very well though because they end up doing all the drugs and
Yeah.
not selling them. You know what I mean?
David says no one's going to kill for pot. No, I think what I meant earlier was that I mean it's like it's so accessible these days, especially in Washington and Oregon and California, and I know in Idaho it's probably not legal,
But they cross the border
but you
into
can get it.
Washington in a
So I
Pullman.
just
And,
don't see it being like pot, which is the only drug I really
I
see
mean,
these
if
girls being
somebody,
into other than like some ecstasy or Molly every once in a while. So it just doesn't.
yeah,
Yeah,
but it just doesn't seem like they would be doing it enough to where they're in trouble about it, you know? But the whole Xana's mom thing uh,
yeah.
is a conundrum to me.
I mean,
Something that I can't quite make sense of because
I don't even
was
think.
somebody trying to get back at her mom?
Well, that's an interesting theory. I never thought of that. I was wondering earlier if that woman who called in even has a daughter. At you know what I mean? Like,
Oh my
is she
gosh.
making it up? She screenshot at
Maybe.
11:33 and said someone was logged in at that time, but she wasn't dead yet. So why take a screenshot of it? The time 1:29 was the following day, showing others after knowing this. Yeah, I that's what didn't
Her
make
sister
sense.
screen.
She screenshot it like earlier before she died. So I was like, why is that important? I mean, why is
Oh
she?
yeah, because then she died in that night. Rather, sorry.
And also, who the heck is on LinkedIn?
Somebody looking for a job afterwards, or somebody who can't connect with them another way, didn't know how to connect with them any other way, but knew their name.
Shelly asked, I missed who the nut job was. Her name's Kim. She called in to, she's been making a lot of phone calls lately, this Kim lady. But there have been some more revelations that are more substantial, like Bryan, pardon me, eating at the Mad Greek and I believe like messaging them. Is that what?
So say that again. Sorry, I was reading.
Well, he's been to he was at the Mad Greek, I think, multiple times where they worked, but he didn't. No one said he did anything weird. He's just being normal, I guess. And he also, let's see. David says, "Do your homework, peeps. Most of the news channels are repeating info, and those others are leaking info that we shouldn't hear. So the news is already painted Bryan as a killer." Yeah,
I just, it's
that's a good
such a
point.
mystery because I don't understand his
Well,
involvement in the drug thing.
the fact that he asked, "Has anyone else been arrested?" and again, to kill 4 people that quickly, I mean, it would have to be pretty. I mean, you'd have to be pretty good. I mean, really, you're gonna. I don't know. I know some people say that they were asleep. Some of them were asleep, but who knows what really happened in that house that night? It's truly a mystery. But just to David's point, they really have painted him as like he's the guy who did it, and we just have to get him on it in court.
And
No one's really thinking, oh, maybe he didn't.
A lot of the general public is like, oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
They have a person. Kids can go back to college now. They can, live there safely because they have the killer. But, have they just painted that picture to set most people's mind at ease? But then there's people like us who read into things a bit more and like to push the envelope and figure out what else is going on.
Yeah. Pamela says, Kaylee was getting ready to move to Texas for a new job. She was the only one there that night. Oh, she was only there that night to say goodbye to Maddie. They're saying now that Bryan was stalking Maddie online, not Kaylee. Yes.
Where did they confirm that? Because everybody thought it was Kaylee that had more.
Yeah, I don't know if that's confirmed, but I have seen a lot of stuff like they were he was messaging one of them or multiple of them. Yeah. Sherilyn makes a good point. I accidentally take screenshots often. Me too. Yeah. But I'm never on LinkedIn. Never.
Do you have LinkedIn?
No. I probably have a LinkedIn page, but I've just LinkedIn to me is just so. I mean, I know it's probably a really good tool if you're
looking for.
If you are connected to a lot of people, but yeah, I like it's definitely not something I see a bunch of 20-year-olds using. Maybe I'm wrong.
Almost.
So Joni's confirming that it was Maddie. Yeah, and I read that too. Dylan and Maddie did not get along, says Laura Hope. I haven't heard that.
Okay.
Then there's this Mr. Bryan, then there's the other Bryan, Mr. Walsh in Mass, who Googles how do you dispose of a body along with many other incriminating things.
Did you guys listen to that thing where the woman's just there listing off all the things that he Googled?
He's an idiot.
That morning?
He is on his son's iPad of all places.
What a moron.
He is an idiot. I mean, that guy is as guilty as they come. See, that guy is like, you can just assume he's the guiltiest guy in the world. With the Bryan thing, everyone's saying Bryan's guilty, and, he does look creepy in my opinion. But, there's not much, I guess they found the sheath with DNA on it, and there's probably a bunch of stuff we don't know. But it's not as, like, open and shut like that Bryan Walsh guy, who's Googling, if Brian Laundrie, if Bryan there's so many Bryans. I can't keep all these Bryans in line. If Bryan Kohberger had, said how Googled some crazy stuff, then it's like, I mean, that's a game changer. If they had more stuff that's like, okay, dude, like, did you really think you could get away with this? The guy goes and buys $400+ of cleaning fluids like the next day or something. It's just.
Well, that's like a total no-brainer case. Like, why would you even look anywhere else? The Brian and Anna Walsh situation.
So Bruce is saying that I should maybe develop a Bryan Kohberger walk, potentially, or he's implying that maybe there's some oddness about him that's worth having a creative performance about.
I would think that would give me nightmares, to be honest.
I have this case you might want to check into. Okay, let's hear it.
They got his car on cam. They got his DNA. He went to their house 12 times, and I haven't heard if it's confirmed he was on their Wi-Fi. Dad said he was.
Good
yes,
points.
We heard that in another video interview with a dad saying that he was connected to their Wi-Fi. So,
but how does someone know that?
Question.
I'm just curious.
Maybe the dad was told that, and he accidentally.
I bet you can open up a Wi-Fi router really easily and see anyone that's connected to it. Yeah, so that's actually not that crazy. You just have to be a little tech savvy.
But what does that mean? Question. Does that mean that unless they had it unlocked, which most people have a password on their Wi-Fi, so I don't think.
Definitely was not unlocked.
So how would he have the password to it?
Let's
think about that. Did he go there for something before? Was he a creep at all the parties and then he made the call on them? That's interesting to me.
Here's a good point. Bruce says, nope, but DNA can be planted and his lawyer may use this in his defense. That's a good point, and that's what a lot of people have said is like, okay, so there's a knife sheath in a quadruple murder where the weapon is a knife, but Bryan Kohberger could just be like, oh, yeah, my knife was stolen out of my car, a month ago. And
but are you allowed to lie?
When you're trying to get off on a quadruple murder, I think lying is in your playbook. I think if you're staring down the potential of a death penalty, you might say a lie or two if you need to. But that's illegal, right? To lie? It's called perjury if you lie under oath. But Bryan Kohberger's probably not going to take the stand. That'd be crazy. I mean, to this day, I haven't seen a single video. He's not going to go up on the stand and get cross-examined by the prosecution. Why? Well, maybe he will. Who knows? I'm saying it's unlikely. Typically, when you're defending yourself in a case like this, you don't take the stand. Because you get cross-examined by the prosecutor and it can go badly, and the jury might think, "Oh, well, that didn't." Yeah, actually, because all you're trying to do is convince the jury. You're not trying to convince people who are on the internet talking about it. Mm-hmm. So it's all about what happens in that courtroom. So very good point by Bruce. Kaylee had moved out already and just came back for the weekend. So go party on Friday night and show Maddie her new car. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty sad. How the hell did he get the Wi-Fi password? That's what I want to know. Was he there? David Strausser says, I don't think it was either of the blonde girls that was a target. It had to have been Ethan's girlfriend. The other two had been in long relationships for 3 and 5 years. I don't know about that one. I'm not sure. Because... Wait, how long were Xana and Ethan together? Oh, geez. I thought that was more like 3 years, but I haven't looked that up in a while now. Or, I don't know, 2 or 3 years? Michaela says, I have yet to see where Brian parked exactly that night. Anyone know? World's dumbest criminal, says Sherry. Blood splatter forensics will eventually tell us who was targeted first. Until then, it's pure speculation. That's a good point. That's definitely a good point. But even if he
murdered somebody else first or somebody murdered whoever else first, that I don't know if that means that that was the target. Because he may have had to murder to get to, you know?
Somebody murdered 4 people, and it could have been more than one person. But right now, they're saying it was Bryan Kohberger was the guy. Sofer Scribbles says he could be innocent. I mean, he could. I don't see. Yeah, he could be.
I don't see him
I
being
don't see
fully
that.
innocent, but I see there's potential for something else going on. Just so weird.
Yeah, it's the saddest part of the whole story that Kaylee was not even supposed to be there, other than that weekend when she came by. That is pretty sad.
Yeah.
Would love to know if Brian took home the dog's hair on accident. That's really key. You know, if they find the dog's hair, because they found a bunch of hair in his apartment, and if one of them matches the dog's, but again, I mean, yeah, he could say, "Oh, I've been at their house for parties before," but yeah, I would say it's
Who
probably.
has Murphy? Is he in police custody, do you think?
I don't know. I
I
don't
love
know.
that. I'm not dating another Brian ever again. Don't do it.
No, we don't
There are
want
plenty of good Brians out there.
to.
That's like everybody put this bad name on Karens. I know many wonderful
Yeah, that's a good
Karens.
point. Yeah, like imagine the name Karen now has like such a bad stigma to it. Unfortunately, so many Bryans keep committing like heinous acts that it's giving the name a bad vibe right now. Um, um, let's see here. EMT manslaughter was very sad. EMT manslaughter was very sad. What happened? Okay, let me look. That's what EMT manslaughter.
What is that?
I'm not. Oh. Oh, okay. 2 EMTs were charged with first-degree murder after a patient died in their care. This was not the first high-profile case. Two EMTs were arrested after an autopsy report found a patient died in their care from compressional and positional asphyxia due to or as a consequence of prone face-down restraint on a cot stretcher by tightened straps across the back during a December call. Shortly after the case, the cause of death was issued by the coroner. The providers were charged with first-degree murder and booked. There's a 24-minute video. Apparently, these guys were just incredibly uncompassionate. I mean, I don't see why that's controversial. And I'm not saying Ethel's wrong for bringing it up, but it's obviously very sad. But it seems like, you know, if you're doing something like that and someone dies, then you definitely should be charged with murder, I think.
Wait,
No,
go up a second to Joel's comment.
Joel's in the house.
Hi,
What's up, Joel?
I think they meant he was close enough to the crime scene that their Wi-Fi could be accessed at the distance. He may have said it incorrectly, but I gathered from the mouth of Kaylee's father in an interview that he was connected. But he could have, I don't know. Like my mom would say something like, yeah, I was connected to the Wi-Fi and she wasn't
Touching
connected. It
into
just
their
was like,
Wi-Fi?
what?
Touching into their Wi-Fi? Is that the quote he used? What does that mean?
Oh, I I'm trying to say something, but my brain just isn't working right now.
What's
What
going
I'm
on with
trying to
you?
say, I can't be interrupted. You guys, I can't, my brain, I like black out sometimes, especially if Moon cries. I don't know what goes on. But what I'm trying to say is my mom would be like, "Oh, I was on their Wi-Fi," and it really just like showed up in her Wi-Fi options. You know what I mean? So he could have been saying, so I don't know, but I thought he said that Brian was on their Wi-Fi.
Maybe he was just in range of it, though, which would be
That would make more
interesting.
sense.
Yeah, that would make more sense. And that would actually give you kind of a
But how would that Wi-Fi know? Would that Wi-Fi know, or they just mean that's how close he was?
maybe. I don't know. I mean, it seems like all of our data is up for grabs these days. But
True.
no one has proven he wasn't at a party at that house. They showed police footage of plenty of people in that house at a party and no one home that lived in the house. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, this guy could be. I think ultimately he had a part in these killings, whether he did them by himself or he was helped by someone. I think there's just some
Okay.
stuff.
Cat. I think this is Cat up here.
Where?
And she said, Kaylee's dad, Steve, is in IT. Okay, so maybe he didn't misspeak about it. Good to know.
Kaylee's dad, Steve, is an IT professional, so he knows what he's talking about.
Unlike my mom. Sorry, Mom.
I think it's just because it pops up on the phone with the option to put the password in if you know it. Could be. That could be exactly what he meant. And that still gives you some information.
What if they found Murphy's hair? Go up a little. No, done. Stephanie. Hi, Stephanie says, what if they found Murphy's hair at his apartment? Yeah, I mean, I guess they would have to, they can't date it to when the hair came from.
We just got a super chat from Miss Jill Fisher. Hold on a second. I got to throw this up because this is a $50 super chat from Jill Fisher. Thank you so much. And she says, hold
Wow,
on.
Jill, thank you very much.
Hold your horses here. And
Jill, are you from California?
yeah, Jill, where are you from?
I want to know.
I want to give you a shout out. Jill Fisher sent you $50. Hey guys, hope it is all going well with you all. I would say it's going pretty well. What about you? In terms of, we have Moon, we're trying to kind of get back to our old selves a little bit, and we have these activities we like to do, but Moon is a lot of work. How are you feeling?
I feel good. I feel like we're getting into a rhythm. I feel like we're able to eat very healthily. In fact, why don't you tell them what's on the menu for dinner tonight?
Tonight I'm gonna make up some shrimp curry. I got a kilogram of shrimp earlier for 260 pesos, which is $13. And I thought that was a tad spendy, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Is that all for one night?
Yeah, I'm gonna use it all so we can have like some leftovers. I hope.
Yeah, it's a little expensive, but the fish is very cheap.
Yeah, just your basic white fish is
And
super cheap.
to answer David's question earlier about there being vegan food, absolutely. There's tons of vegan food here. One of the main things they do is avocado tacos for, instead of fish tacos. But I do feel okay eating fish here because it is caught by the fishermen in this village that go out and catch it that morning, and it is fresh and it is caught, very sustainably, and it gives these fishermen money, if we are eating it. So, and there's plenty out there. It's not like there's a, I don't know, diminishing population. So
no, plenty of fish in these Sea of Cortez.
I feel very sustainable eating fish down here.
Yeah, the best is actually to catch the fishermen on their way home from catching the fish. And I know of a guy that lives with his family right up, a 5-minute walk from here, that I've bought fish from him before, and he gave me for 100 pesos
which is like $5
ton of fish for $5. So Some things are still super affordable. Apparently, camarones or shrimp are
A little
a
pricey.
little pricey. Jill's from Michigan. Get out of town.
Oh. Wait, now I knew that now that she says that.
She says, I finally figured out Cash App. Well, that's very generous of you, Jill,
Thank
but
you, Jill.
so cool to learn that you're from Michigan.
And didn't she tell us last time, or was that somebody
Flint.
else?
I think she said Flint.
You already told us.
Yeah.
That's just how the brain works. Okay.
Brain fog.
Guys,
Seriously.
I have to ask you something. Now that we're not talking about Bryan for a second, I have to ask you. Excuse me, picked. So somebody, a friend of ours down here that we haven't seen since we had Maya, was like, "Oh, her red hair," and a lot of people are like, "Where does it come from?" Well, two people in a row, both named Julie, said, "Oh, well, of course she has red hair. Allie has red hair."
Ginger.
Do I have red hair?
I don't think I was a little surprised to hear that because I have like my armpit hair is very dark, but it has reddish hues to it.
Gingery.
Yeah, and hair other
But
places.
that's common
is that way too.
for males
I don't know. Is
to
it?
have that. Yeah.
I hope so. I don't want to feel like too much of a freak. Sorry.
But I want to know, do you guys think I have red hair? Because I thought that was very interesting.
Do you guys think, Ethel says, do you guys think his dad might be involved since he was in the car going back to PA?
I don't.
No, he looked like too much of a, hey, we're driving across the country. He was ready to spill the beans on anything that those cops asked him. When Brian's like, shut up, Dad, we're going to get Thai food. It's like, dude, his dad's like, any cop would be like, okay, you're telling me something like kind of strange, and he's just clearly just like wanting to chat. The fact that he put the garbage in the neighbor's garbage can far away from his house has to tell everyone he is hiding from guilt. That is really interesting.
He's done some things that
is very interesting.
just don't. I don't know. Probably didn't think he was being watched yet, though.
Callie Mass, unalive, took his own life, 72-year-old Asian man. Okay, I think I know what Glory's talking about here. But I want to see. Yeah. So the man was found dead. He killed 10 people in Monterey Park. But are you saying, a 72-year-old Asian man? Is that, yeah. The suspect as Who Can Tran, 72. So this guy shot up in Torrance, California. 10 people died in Monterey Park. Extremely sad.
Very, very sad. And what
that's like nobody was expecting that. So, anybody, it could be anybody. But geez, that's a crazy one. He went home to get that Elantra out of Idaho.
I agree.
That car was never coming back, said
That's
Bruce.
why I just don't understand why he put those plates on it.
So David Strausser was mentioning earlier that Kaylee's dad, I believe, wears hats in the interviews, and he does do quite a few interviews. And he doesn't. I don't want to judge his daughter's dead, and I could never imagine. But sometimes I'm watching him, and he seems too composed to me a little bit. That doesn't say, and that's not me saying oh, maybe he's hiding something. It's just, I just don't understand how I could be doing that if something were to happen. But maybe
his way of coping.
His
way of coping is really just trying to get revenge and get the word out there for his daughter. And maybe that's just how he, sees him being the strong parent of these 4 kids to do that.
Okay, let's take a quick break. I want to check in with the NFL games, guys. Let's go jump over to the NFL games and see what you guys are thinking about on some of these games here. So Cowboys and Niners tied at 9. That's a real nail biter going on. Bengals beat the Bills earlier today, which was pretty impressive, actually. I was very impressed. I think I wouldn't be surprised to see the old Bengals going back to the Super Bowl. They'll be facing the Chiefs.
Did they go last year, the Bengals?
Yes, remember?
No.
We had Moon right around that time. And then we watched the Super Bowl in Park City with my family, and it was a blast.
The Bengals, and who else played last year?
The Rams beat the Bengals. I was rooting for the Bengals because I'm a Joe Burrow guy. Bengals are going to face the Chiefs next Sunday, who Patrick Mahomes, as you probably are completely unaware of, took a high ankle sprain yesterday, so that's news to watch. But what do you guys think? Eagles easily beat the Giants. Cowboys and Niners, end of third quarter, knotted up at 9. So pretty interesting there in the old NFL landscape.
Mm-hmm.
Linda Heckert says, yay, Niners. I'm kind of rooting for the Niners. David's in the Niners boat. Let's go Cowboys, says Sherry Lynn. Yikes, Bills lost in the snow, says Bruce. Yeah, I kind of am leaning Niners tonight just because I like the Brock Purdy storyline. This guy was the last guy drafted. I have to tell Allie everything. She has literally no clue.
I don't even know what it means, and I don't even care. So you don't have. He doesn't have to tell me.
It's exciting to know when someone is the last player drafted and now is in the divisional round, hopefully going to the NFC Championship.
Yay! What a cool
guys.
Guy.
It's an underdog story. You got to like an underdog story. Okay. SF just scored another TD. Yes, they did. Oh wow! I see it's 15-9 now. Soon to be probably 16-9. I'm guessing. SF just scored another TD. I think that San Francisco will win that game. It was or were Molly. Okay, let's see here. I'm trying to see what Jersey Eagle was saying. Phyllis Harper. Is he addressing someone in chat or? I don't know.
I don't know. Football is Greek to me. Me too, Joni. Me too.
Joel says, I don't have a team. I'm not into football, but my family roots for the Cowboys, so I guess I am too.
Yeah, my sister-in-law's parents buy the kids Seattle Seahawks clothes, so I'm a Seahawks fan because whatever.
See, that wasn't so hard.
I actually went to a Seahawks game once. Did I tell you that?
No. Who'd they play?
And I don't know. I painted my face blue and green.
I knew you would have no idea who they played. Yeah, that's totally your thing. You would go to a game and become a super fan just for that one experience and then have no clue.
It was fun to be there.
It's a beautiful stadium. I've been to a game there versus the Packers.
Beautiful. I mean,
you get to look out at the Seattle skyline on the one end zone. It's really a pretty stadium.
I didn't get to see that.
Well, I don't know what you were doing there. I'm surprised you were even there, to be honest. I'm with you, Allie. I don't do sports unless it involves a dog.
Well, I love, surfing and skiing and those kind of sports, but I just don't. Football's great. I just don't know it or watch it.
Yeah, it's just a good old fashioned run and gun sport that I happen to just be a fan of.
I think it's fun. I mean, my mom watches it. It's so random, and it's just kind of fun to have something to keep up with and chat with people about, and have,
So, Moon's squirming. Allie, your hair looks a little reddish brown when you are in the sun.
Okay, Patsy. Okay.
Pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Jersey Eagle says, I don't think the motive for killings was over drugs. I agree with that. Just so happens that there was lots of illegal paraphernalia in the house. Sorority sisters were called to get this stuff out. See, but like illegal paraphernalia, I mean, that's what doesn't make sense to me. And that's why maybe now that I'm talking about it, I don't know
But
what that.
why would that
You
would
would
be of
not
your concern
you would
if
not be
someone
concerned if there
random
were
came into
4
your house
murders.
and murdered 4 of your
You
roommates
would
or
not
whatever,
think about, oh my gosh, I have a bong in the closet.
or like something that pertains to, you wouldn't get in trouble over
And
it. They
I
wouldn't
don't
even
even
look at
think you
it.
can get in trouble for it because they're there to investigate the murder. They can't go, oh, but you also had this bong, so you're going to jail. I don't think that's even possible. Which is, one of the very few good things about our legal system, I guess. But I just don't think. I mean, it's like, man, if I was in college, I had literally 4 roommates. I was one of 5. And if I woke up one morning and all 4 of my roommates were murdered, and there was, quote unquote paraphernalia around, I'm sure of it, I would never be like, oh God,
Somebody come get this out
four
of the
four of
house.
my friends are murdered, but there could be a bong or I don't know what other paraphernalia they could have, like a crack pipe or something, because that says a lot more. Like we talked about earlier, they didn't look like really druggies. They looked like partiers. They looked like they like to drink, and so it's like it just doesn't make sense if you're gonna if I mean 4 of your roommates are murdered and you worry about the paraphernalia.
Yeah. Like, what could it have been?
What
I don't
was
know.
up with the 4-hour gap from her waking up around 8, I guess? I mean, what was up between 4 a.m. when she saw the guy and when the cops were called? What happened? That's like crucial. And that's why there's so many different
Like a
theories flying
fan up
around.
there? Um,
Yeah, David says the cops aren't going to care about that when it comes to a murder. I mean,
yeah,
it's like Eye of the
for
Storm
sure.
Tarot, just a little late. That's
But she
okay.
made
But she made
it.
it. We'll have a tardy sound effect. Let's go with that. Not a very good tardy sound effect. Ask Al if she knows who is singing at halftime at the Super Bowl. Oh, I know. Allie's gonna have literally no clue. She probably doesn't even know who this artist is.
Who is
Rihanna.
it? Oh no, I know that name. I know her. We found love in a hopeless place. I know like a couple of her songs, but didn't somebody the one last year,
It was really good.
it was
Finally.
really good, but it made me feel very old because
Yeah.
all of those artists were big when we were like, I don't know, in high school.
Yeah.
And then to see them up there, like performing like that
Bunch
was
of old
incredible.
geezers.
But they looked a lot different than they used to. Hi,
Darlene
Patty.
says, look up the Redhead Festival. Okay, we got to do that because maybe Moon's going to be headlining it someday.
Oh my gosh. Darlene, have you been? That's what I need to know. Oh, it's in Ireland? Girly! Are you going to go to the Redhead Festival?
It's a lot of redheads, guys.
Wow.
Wow, look at all those redheads. It really is. I mean, it's like
What do you
it's
think,
kind of
Moon?
annoying that people are like, myself included, are like make fun of redheads because I mean my dad's a redhead and I've never really I think it's all like in good fun. Obviously, no one really cares.
Oh yeah, I
But it's
think
such
a
a
lot of people have a
unique.
special place in their heart for redheads. It's just
Everyone
like
we see
a
is like, oh my god, she's a redhead. That's like how amazing. And I'm like, yeah, dang straight.
it is amazing.
Look
It's
at all
very
these redheads.
unique.
And she's like a real redhead. And we've learned recently that red hair and blue eyes is the
Look at this girly.
rarest combo on
Hey, girl,
Earth.
are you hungry? Okay.
This is
I
the
think it's time to eat.
pretty much the way it works. She naps, and then she wakes up and immediately wants to eat, and then she eats, and then there's like 30 to an hour's worth of good time where she's just hanging out, looking around. She loves to go outdoors. Oh, big stretch! Look at that pretty outfit from the Van
Are
fam.
you hungry, girly? Let me grab this. Excuse me.
So, and then she starts crying because she needs a nap. But then around 10 o'clock, we put her to bed, and it is peace and quiet, although she makes a ton of noise. I've been waking up a couple times in the middle of the night, and she is just making noise, moving around. If I slept like that, I mean, I don't know how you can sleep like that, but she doesn't wake up. I look at her eyes, and she's sound asleep the whole time. They just. That's why we swaddle her. She really does love the swaddle.
But she's gonna start to roll over soon, and she's not gonna be able to be in the swaddle.
She did wake up around 7:40 today, Rana. Moon. I'm just reading through your comments. Allie's getting Moon some food here. Drugs were used for income, in my opinion, says Jersey Eagle. It's okay, Moon. Just a minute. The dogs are really good about they just kind of stare at Moon when she cries. Moon! So, that was definitely a drinking house. I agree. We've got an order of operations here. It's okay, Mooney. Bengals on the way again. Yes, they are. Allie riding toe side yet and can do a toe side turn. Apparently, I haven't seen her kite because we don't kite together anymore unless we get a babysitter. But she's jumping. She's definitely riding toe side. She can ride toe side easily on a surfboard. And she can do toe side turns. She can do down loops while riding toe side and bring it back the other way. And now she's getting the best jumps she's ever had, right?
Yeah. When you jump in the air and everything becomes silent
On a surfboard.
For a couple of seconds, you know you're getting, I don't know, 2 feet. Not very much. But I can jump pretty high with a twin tip, but I'm still trying to figure it out with the surfboard.
Okay, what's everybody up to? Only 2% of the world is natural redhead, and Scotland has the most.
Wow.
Well, my family's Scotch-Irish. I think that's where the red came from. My dad's a redhead, although it's gotten less so. When he was like really, in his 20s and 30s and stuff, it was really red. It was like Moon's color.
You know what's sad is I've been to Dan's dad's house, and there's like 10 photos of you guys. I want like albums.
There
I
were
want
some
to see
somewhere.
every single photo of you ever taken.
Right. Right.
Don't you want to see them all?
I would like that. I'd like to go down memory lane.
I mean, I'm sure they're somewhere, right?
Okay,
But I
a
wanna see them all.
super sticker just came through. Hair character looking at himself in the mirror saying, "Thanks for being you," with hearts popping out of his eyes. That's from Diana.
Thank you for being you, Diana. We appreciate it.
Very generous super sticker from Diana.
Very generous. Thank you.
Okay, so now I'm hearing from Jersey Eagle, who's breaking a lot of different comments here. Owner of Mad Greek wrote letter today that Bryan was never at her restaurant, but I heard that he was at the restaurant multiple times. So I'll have to look into that. But
how could they know?
Well, you could just look up his name in the. I mean, if they use like Square as payment processor,
cash?
He seems like the type of guy that's going to pay cash. So that's a good point. But that's how I assumed maybe they because no one's going to be like, oh, I remember that guy. That's probably not how it went down. I assumed they had looked up like, oh, had he been here in the past in their system or whatever. But Bryan looks like the type of guy that only pays by cash.
To keep his paper trail.
Only 157 watching, 98 likes. Smash that like button for these lovely people and the beautiful redhead baby girl.
Thank you, Joni.
Will we see some kiting video, please and thank you? I think we can make that happen. I'll answer your question from earlier, Bruce, that I meant to answer about how I'm feeling. Yesterday it was blowing like 30 plus out there. It was nuking, is a term we use in the kiting community. And I was really getting some just kind of mental blockage where I was feeling myself kind of question how strong my leg is and all that stuff. It's obviously very strong. It's healed and all that, but there's definitely some mental stuff. But I am not in good shape right now. I felt that today. I was out there and I'm just like, man, I'm like going charging, kiting the way I used to kite last year, but just not. I don't have the same energy or power, I guess, that I had. So I got to build that back up.
And that couldn't be because you didn't do any physical therapy or anything, could it be? You guys,
No.
when Dan was in the hospital, I made him promise me that he would do it, and he didn't do it ever once. Did you?
No, I did it once, remember? And it was stupid. I went in once and it was stupid.
Well, physical therapy is not just like a go once and fix it type of thing.
I know, but we weren't in Oregon.
Well, these are things that you can look up and do at home, and if you guys agree with me, Dan should keep doing.
No one
stuff
agrees
to
with you.
strengthen
Everyone's
his-
saying in the comments that that's totally out of this world that you would suggest that. Joni says, I'm scared for Dan to ever go kiting again. Well,
Okay,
the truth is I'm never going near hard objects on the water. I mean, that's really my new thing is like, I don't ever want to, I'm no longer taking risks. Hold on. Get some horns. It's Shelly Fitzgerald with a super chat. Just sending some love for y'all. $9.99. Thank you so much, Shelly. We appreciate that. Moon. Let's go back to Moon Cam, sponsored by Shelly and Diana. What's the situation? She needs a bottle.
The bottle's too warm, so I put it in the freezer for a second.
Oh my gosh.
Guys, it's a chore. I don't make hardly any milk in the evenings, and our water jug is a two-hand thing. So we warm up some milk a little bit on the stove, but it gets really hot really quick, so you have to.
And you're not as good at, I mean, not trying to put you on blast here, but I make the bottles quick and usually perfect. Don't you feel? I make most of the bottles because you're doing stuff.
Well, because I'm already holding her and feeding her.
Yeah, and I'm just saying I'm really good at making the bottles. It's kind of a thing I've got going on. So this is kind of the problem with this place. It's all just concrete floor. We put that rumple rug down, which we like, but it doesn't really make the place any better.
It's
And then there's this bright light here. So
it's a bit junky, but it's fine. It is what it is, and we don't need anything else.
yeah, we don't need anything else.
Same with my back, Dan, after surgery.
Yeah, it's tough. You got to come back from these injuries. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's why you'll love Gyrotonic. I was like, you wouldn't.
Yes, Penny.
Penny's here.
Penny.
I would love Gyrotonic.
Penny got to meet Maya in person this week, which is pretty special.
Bruce hit a boat with his kite. Yeah, that's no fun.
Bruce, where do you kite? You can do your physical therapy anytime, sir, or you'll regret it when you're older because it could be healing, but not correctly.
It is healing correctly.
Thank you. It's not. Just like Huck's leg is not healing correctly. There's something going on.
It's fully healed correctly. It's healed perfectly. I'm not even a year into recovery. I'm just saying that I'm getting out there and I'm like, I feel it. There's like a sensation. It's not. There's no pain.
Well,
You don't know that it's.
well,
You
you didn't
can't
do
ask
any.
her.
He didn't do any physical therapy, so
No, I did go once.
Did you do the exercises ever when you
I
left?
went. Yes.
Not once.
No, I did. The exercises were like the exercise. One of the exercises was literally engage your core. That was it. Engage your core. So you know what I did?
Engaging your core?
You know what I did?
What?
I went to yoga constantly in Bellingham.
For the 1 month that we were there?
Yeah, because we're never anywhere long enough to me to get into a good rhythm. So
the trouble, and this is not a big thing, but the thing with Dan is Dan likes to go to classes and stuff, and I have found because I've been on the go for so long that I can just do a workout or stretches or whatever anywhere. So I think as long as you keep doing that, but I haven't seen you went for a bike ride today.
I know. I'd been doing lots of stuff. I was just.
Oh, please excuse this. My brother is messaging right now, which is very rude, Nicholas.
He's not watching this. So.
He's obviously not watching, so I'm only just kidding. But it's difficult for him to.
This is crazy. Your family, I must say, is not very technically savvy. He just asked me. He asked me for my email address, and I said, just because I'm on here doing this, and I said, my email address at Gmail. And he goes, do I need to put a .com after that? And it's like, yeah, duh. Like, I didn't think I needed to do that.
So you guys, my poor mom has been trying to join our family photo stream for like weeks now. And she's on it and she comments and she's like, I don't know where it went. One day I walked in on her. Did I already tell you guys this? One day I walked in on her talking into her phone to me, sending me a message, speaking into it saying, you'll have to show me how to do that voice to text thing. She was doing voice to text and I walked in on her doing it. I was like, Mom, what's going on?
Bruce kited on Lake Huron.
Wow. I've actually never kited on
Chelsea Locke says just came in from AZ. What is Phoenix like in the summer? Does anyone know?
Hot.
I mean, seriously, does anyone know what Phoenix is like in the summer? I'm just curious because I know people that like your brother and his family are there and they're going to be there in the summer, and I'm just wondering like, what's it like in the summer? Is it as bad as it sounds? You know, because everyone says it's
a dry heat.
I know, but I think that when it's 115
somebody
degrees.
Was telling us that all the local resorts and stuff like that open up their swimming pools to the locals, so it's kind of like a free-for-all. Like you can go swim in all these different pools, but I feel like a lot of people have their own pools.
Charlene and Jean said, no, Allie, your hair is not red.
Thank you. I guess I see a hint of like a auburn-ish, but I was such a blondie growing up that I don't know. I don't see any. Have you guys seen any real blonde photos of me growing up? Have we ever showed childhood photos?
No.
We don't have any of Dan to show.
My mom just sent one not 2 days ago.
Really?
It's a high school photo. Me. Here, I'll show you right now. I don't think to be like, hey, look, come running and show you stuff.
I do.
We should share those photos.
Oh my gosh, look at Dan!
Let's go over to Super Chat Cam.
Oh, you guys. Who doesn't want to see this?
There was me. That's probably like...
Dan!
That's probably like 6th, 7th. That's probably middle school, maybe. Probably.
I want to see every single photo ever taken of you.
That's I did not mean to give you a round of applause for that psycho comment.
Mark Marshall says it's hot, but I love it.
So, Mark, I wanted to address this, and then you went off on a kind of an annoying tangent. I wanted to address this.
Rude.
When you say, I know Shelly says it's 115, Joni says 112, but when you say it's very hot, and Mark says hot, but I love it, like, it, what do you mean? Like, what do you love about it? Is it, you know what I mean? I'm interested to know.
Yeah, a lot of people say they love it, but
Like, do you really love it?
do you just sit in the AC? I mean, when I lived in Australia, it would get to like 115 during the day, and it was not dry heat, it was wet heat. And it was, I could maybe go for a run really early in the mornings or something, but other than that, we just sat inside in the AC.
It's like sticking your head in the hot oven. That's not what I wanted to hear. I did not want to hear anything. Phoenix is very warm, 110 in dry heat. Northern AZ is comfortable summers. Okay. I feel tension between you two. You have everything you need in a beautiful baby.
That's just because
no
Dan's
tension.
hip is. I just don't want. I want him to grow old as a grandpa for our kids and be able to chase him around and not have pain. I fell off a ladder and I didn't do anything about it, and I sincerely regret it. That's why.
Billy Joe says, I live in AZ.
Arizona.
Excuse
me. We were both very, very blonde as babies. Yeah.
Yeah, like really like so blonde. The hair gene comes from the father's side, says Karen and Mark. Yeah, I do. I mean, I don't see it in Allie's family very much. My dad is a redhead, so.
Thank you guys all for your tips on Maya's reflux, and we are trying out all the new things. She doesn't like to be burped mid-feed.
She's her passy? Oh, I don't know. She's real cute, though.
It's okay, girlie. It's okay. I know. Okay.
Okay, let me just check in with the NFL game real quick. See where we're at. It looks like, okay, the Niners got another field goal. Cowboys got another field goal. It's a 7-point game with 3 minutes left. Oh, guys, we got a real nail biter here. Who's got the football? That's what I want to know. I'm not seeing who has the football.
What do you mean, like what team? Doesn't that change all the time?
Is there a way to... Yeah, but I want to see who has it right now because there's only 3 minutes left in the game.
Oh.
I'm sure somebody's watching on the stream here. Allie, when Dan got hurt, I was worrying about how he would feel in his 50s from that injury.
Me too. Me too. It's funny, not funny. It's like when it happens and then you're like, "Oh wow, I recovered. It's all fine." I have pain in my hip every single day and I can't run anymore because of it. So
Cowboys have the ball right now. Pamela says, considering the gravity of your injuries in that accident, in my opinion, you are a walking miracle. To me, you are doing great. You and Allie are both so tough. So, there's a good... That's what I like. See? If you could harness that would be great.
Yes, but we haven't harnessed the fact that you lied to me and you promised me that you would do something about it.
I did. I went to physical therapy. Promises made, promises kept, guys.
That is not going to physical therapy.
You never specified terms other than you need to go to physical therapy, and I said,
no way.
No problemo.
It's kind of hard to argue with a guy who feeds you and takes such good care of you because he's the best dad in the whole world. And
I will be kiting
So what
into
am I
my
gonna
70s, as Bruce says here. There's no doubt about that. Actually, you know what? I'll be winging Sorry, guys. We have had a full. We're just both. Allie obviously gave birth, and that was a huge physical endeavor. And during that time, I was doing a lot of exercising. I was going to a lot of hot yoga, which is like one of my favorite things. I keep getting burps. And I was doing a lot of mountain biking. But since then, it's been about 2 months almost. Yeah, over 2 months since. And I haven't really done much. I've done some workouts and stuff with you, but not like rigorous. So, man, I am just getting beat up. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying like, oh, it's hard. I feel really strong out there. I feel like I can jump. I mean, I'm jumping pretty high out there already and stuff. It's just I'm just I need my body needs to get stronger.
Yeah. But are you going to do anything else to make it stronger, or just by going out there will be strong enough?
Just being out there is what I need.
Because I feel, so I have no abs, I haven't done a sit-up in 9 months or whatever. And my stomach is like a squishy whatever, it's not like it used to be. It used to have abs.
Rock hard.
And I mean, not like I didn't have a six pack or anything. I just had abs. And now it's like, I think that kiting and some things that require some core strength are a little bit more painful on my back while I'm trying to build up my core strength. That's what I think for me.
Hey, you should try physical therapy.
No,
Seriously, because they said in my physical therapy, you need to strengthen your core. And I said, oh, thanks. That's worth, the price I paid.
Fair enough. I am strengthening my core.
Make me a promise now that you will go to physical therapy to get over your birth injuries. Seriously.
I don't have birth injuries.
Speaking of birth injuries, Linda Hecker said she broke her tailbone during the birth of her son 40 years ago. I still have issues with pain.
How did you break your tailbone? That sounds terrible.
That's one I've never heard of.
You guys, my cousin, somebody I'm very close with, is pregnant with twin girls. I believe we have spoken about it a couple of times, and she has.
She was pushing wrong.
Pushing wrong.
That's what.
Oh, with your tailbone. Wow. Oh, I'm sorry to hear. That sounds painful. And she has preeclampsia with her twins. So we are going to the twins will be here early March, which I'm very excited about, if they don't come sooner. But they are at a healthy weight that if they came now, everything would be fine. But so that's interesting in our personal life.
Very tired. He's getting older, and he's kid stepping into a dad bod. Exactly. And I have the gut already. I'm seriously 10 pounds overweight. Although I'm excited.
I think you maybe lost a little.
I'm losing some lbs. I feel like it.
Dan has the type of body that he'll do like one bike ride or like some sit-ups and
not
look
true.
Skinnier. It's true. It's rude.
Okay, Diana says she broke her tailbone too. What the heck? Oh my gosh,
so it's common.
Bruce says, I have a mountain climbing machine. I love it. Wow, what the heck?
I love like a stair stepper, right? I love those.
Well, who calls a stair stepper a mountain climbing machine? Maybe it's
maybe it's different.
Maybe it's a play on words. Okay, let's see here. I hope he will be kiting forever and not feeling any pain.
Me too. But I feel like it wouldn't be a hope if he did his physical therapy. I feel like it would be a given.
No, it wouldn't be. I have a risk of arthritis in my hip. That was made very clear to me by the surgeon. And it's about the only accurate information we got while I was in the hospital from an MD. So, whoa, hold on. Fire off some orange. Pamela Williams dropping a $25 super chat.
Thank you, Pamela.
You guys are doing great. See, that's what I've been trying to say. You're over here telling me I'm going to be, not running around as a grandfather, and Pamela's saying that we're doing great. I'm serious, and she had another comment earlier that was really great. So, whoever said there's tension between us, maybe you were more right than I let on. Okay. Did they catch the individual today yet? Yes. It was a
Yeah.
72-year-old Asian man that is now dead. We just learned about. Bruce has a major flu bug. Hopefully you recover soon.
Ooh.
This weekend, caught up on sleep. I get up early and go to work, and we have half-day Fridays, so I slept after getting home and watched some football, but just not interested in the teams this year. I'm interested in the Bengals and the Niners, baby.
That was all the way at the beginning.
Oh, it was? Oops.
I thought those were random conversations coming out of nowhere.
That was.
For sure about the sunscreen.
Penny Lane says, the position they have women in the hospitals isn't good for pushing. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, laying on your back is one of the worst, according to our midwife and a lot of research online, is one of the worst positions for having a baby. But it's like they don't have, I don't know, that's just what they do. Why is everybody on their back?
Yeah, it seems after watching
But
your birth.
to be fair, when I was laying on my back in the bathtub and they were like, "Oh, that's not a good," I was like, "Don't tell me what to do."
But even that,
That's how I was
you
most
were still in a
comfortable.
better pushing position. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't seem quite right the way they do it in a hospital. And I have seen some videos on YouTube of people on all fours on the bed. But man, can you imagine the mess that would make? I mean, obviously they clean it up, but whew, I don't know.
I don't know. I think a lot of birthing rooms now have bathtubs and stuff like that to try and more comfortable positions and stuff.
Phoenix is great for no arthritis pain.
Because it's dry heat.
Is that what?
Is that a thing?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Mark Marshall's, he's kind of becoming our Phoenix guide.
My dad has my dad and stepmom they're completely redoing their whole place right now and trying to get it finished to live in it. And it's going well, but he gets really bad arthritis in his wrists and stuff. And the Florida heat is like a humid heat, and I think it aggravates it more for him. But I could be wrong.
After watching your birth, Allie, it made sense to me. Yes, being on the back was not good. Yeah, I mean, man, you popped that little moon right out. That little 7-pound, 3-ounce moon, who's now probably legitimately an 11-pound moon. We're gonna weigh Moon. You'll see it. We'll do that in an episode, or we'll have a clip of that. We should start weighing Moon right before Sunday Night Live, and we can play a clip. So
She looks drunk right now. Look
yeah,
at
let's
her.
go to Moon Cam. Actually, sponsored by Pamela Williams. This is super chat, guys. You want to talk about the party house? Moon is drunk on milk right now in our party casita. Oh baby, oh baby, look at that Moon right there. There's that red hair, that trademark moon red. We should make a new color called Moon Red.
Like a Crayola.
Yeah, that you could submit to Crayola. And then
Hi,
Allie's going
Bernie.
through her burping, which I never do. I don't ever burp.
Good
I don't
burp.
believe in burping.
You guys, actually, Girly's reflux has gotten better. I don't know.
Hi! Hi, girly!
Hi, Moon.
Hi, Moon!
Hi,
Those pitch changes. Hi! Yeah, hi! That's what get her to
Is that
smile.
Daddy?
Hi!
You're not getting it.
I'm missing the smiles. Hi! So, guys, when we change our pitch like that, she is just always smiling.
She also loves her daddy so much.
Yeah, here's a fun comment from Sherry. Some women have babies that weigh as much as Moon does now. Can you imagine this fat little roly-poly Moon coming out of you? Oh my god.
No, but it's funny because we visited some friends and they were like, they had a 7 or 8 pound baby and then a 10 pound baby or something like that, right? And they were like, we thought our first one was cute, but then the second one came out at 10 pounds and she was way cuter because she was nice and fat.
Bruce says, someone give Piggy a hug or a burp. Bruce, I burp my terrier routinely, so good on you for calling that out. If it's Terrier 101, if you're going to own a terrier, you need to be willing to burp your terrier regularly. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
David says he's afraid of getting puked on, but he should be doing that to help bond with her even more. I think she likes me more, and Allie burps her all the time. So, I mean, don't you think? She's always looking at me. See, you guys can see her looking at me right now.
I just did some hand laundry with a scrubba bag. I'll show you guys. I'm going to make a TikTok out of it, but it got the stuff pretty clean for in between big washes and stuff. So I'm happy about that, but she pukes on a lot of our clothes, and it's like every time I put a new outfit on her, bleh. And I thought that I had already gotten it all, but
I think Patsy Johnson's making fun of me with this comment, rightfully so. Where did you go to medical school? Bruce asked, are there other couples down there in Mexico with young infants? Or are we anomalies?
We, maybe it's because we are parents now, but I'd seen kids, but not infants. And now we're seeing all sorts of infants.
We're seeing lots of, we've not seen anyone as young as Moon. We've seen a 5-month-old. That's the second youngest we've seen. Moon is the youngest.
Yeah, and a 10-month-old and some other larger babies, but no little infants.
A lot of everyone. I mean, literally everyone is just like so supportive of like us having her down here, and they're saying, "Man, you guys are giving her the best life already." And
there's a lot of people who think you can't give a baby a good life in a van or whatever, but I can assure you she is doing just fine. Aren't you, sweet cheeks? Yeah.
Laura Hope says, smash that like button and it will be checked for DNA to see if you did. Gosh, wouldn't that be nice if we could see
check everybody's
whose
DNA.
DNA was on our live streams. Yeah, this is kind of what I was getting at. She likes Dan better because he doesn't burp her. Exactly. No, she loves her mom. She's got a fantastic mom.
She loves us both, but Dan is a little more animated. Or like he has this voice that she just loves, and it's so sweet to watch. I'm just so fortunate that you are such a huge part of her life because, a lot of...
Do you think I was a deadbeat?
It's not always that way. No.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't have had kids with you if I thought you were a deadbeat. I mean, a lot of kids don't
what does that
get both from their both parents get that sort of affection and attention and time with both parents because maybe the dad has to work or maybe he has to be away or whatever.
I'm working right now. I'm working for likes, subscribes. That's what we do, baby. Mm-hmm. But we do have, Michaela Walker asked earlier if we're going to share our upcoming adventures. And yeah, we're definitely going to do that. But we're not just yet. But we're
still honing in on that
we've got some interesting stuff on the horizon that we're really excited about. So,
and I think you guys will be very supportive.
Oh yeah, of course. It's the Van Fam. You're giving her the best life with all this love.
She is so fortunate to have the whole Van Fam, and we're doing the best we know how, and I think that's all that really matters.
I especially love the shorts video of Moon stop crying when Allie holds her. Yeah, that was a really funny one. Yeah, that one was really funny.
It feels, I don't mean to be like selfish or whatever, but it feels very, it's a very nice feeling when your baby is crying and then you get her back, like say from a friend or something, and she stops crying. And that's how I think, okay, she really does know me very well as her mom already, if that makes sense. Like a friend was holding her last night and she cried, and I took her and she stopped. And she just wanted mom. And that's, I don't know, it feels nice to be needed after giving so much to her.
You've done so much for her. I want to play a throwback here that I thought you guys might like. So let's throw this up and see what people think. Where is
Are
this?
you all done?
Hold on a second. I gotta find it
Big
here.
moon, a big girly moon. Yes, this moon is big. You want some more?
Hmm.
What video is it?
You'll see. It's not showing up, so I gotta put it. Let's try this.
Babies are pretty simple though. Hey, they don't need a whole lot besides to sleep and eat.
Okay, let's check this out. Hey, babe. Whoa! What's that face for? It wasn't me. I did not eat them. Hey, come on now. You don't need to cry. Okay, I did eat it, but I saved you one. Pretty funny, huh? Check out these
so
photos
good.
we got from a friend also. These are pretty good. We're going to jump over to Moon Cam for these. Let me just find them real quick. Here we go. Let's jump over to Moon Cam. These are from a few nights ago. Really beautiful photos of Moon. Me and Moon, I must say. This is the type of picture I'm going to look at when Moon's like, really pushing my buttons, probably. And I'll remember, gosh, that was a sweet little Moon. Guys, look at that smile right there. Does it get any better than that? Hold on. I'm trying to get as close as I can. Look at that little Moon. She's got her jean jacket on. She's got some type of zip up. She is just happy as can be. She's hanging out. She got to watch the sunset. So that is one happy Moon. So we're having a good time as a family. We're growing. We're figuring everything out,
Yes.
Allie with the marker was great. That was pretty funny. That was all Allie's idea. Actually, that one, the marker was your idea, but that skit was my idea. But you had another funny skit
We're a good team. What was it? My funny skit.
where you were dancing around.
Oh,
Been pregnant for way too long.
I
Baby
saw
mama.
that. I saw that one and I just couldn't not. Do you know where my pacifier is? What I did with it?
Here it is. Here, Moon. This will make you feel better. It's a piece of plastic to suck on. Can y'all get a better place, or was it pay ahead? I actually haven't paid for it yet, but I don't want to.
I don't want to.
We reserved it with this guy in advance. We'll be
Yeah.
fine. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just not. It's just
I
not super.
I don't
great.
want to pay any more either because
Yeah, we're paying $750 US for this, so
we're fine. We don't spend a whole lot of time hanging out. I mean, I guess we do.
it's a king size bed. The sheets are disgusting, so we sleep on top of the bed sheet, and we have our own
Thankfully,
blankets from the
because
van.
we drove the van down here, we have like this rug and a bug screen that I put up today. If you guys saw on Instagram, might start doing a few more of those where I'm just talking to the camera because you can do them without spending a lot of time
Yeah,
making them pretty
just
and
do
stuff.
that.
And then the bug screen and the rug, and we've got our own bedding and stuff, so it makes it okay. But if you were to fly down here and use all this stuff, ew. Don't you think? And now we have to use the tiny little bathroom sink to wash our dishes.
I did all the nurturing, but my daughter turned out to be a daddy's girl.
Aw. I'm okay if she's a daddy's girl because she's.
Thanks for all the positive comments about how we're being as parents, guys. Makes us feel good. Has Moon seen the moon? Asked Patricia. She may not have. I don't think we've explicitly shown her the moon. We've been showing her herself in the mirror.
So she has seen the moon.
And she kind of is starting to, like, she'll kind of look at it for a second. And, like, I'm thinking in my head, like, I'm saying out loud to her, "That's you, moon." My brother asked me today, we got to go to moon cam, guys. My brother asked me today if we call her anything but moon, or if we call her Maya ever, or just moon. And I said pretty much it's mostly just moon right now.
I try to remind myself to call her Maya. Well, she was just sleeping. Hi, sweetie.
Look at those fat rolls on her neck.
Hi, baby girl.
That's the stuff dreams are made out of right there, guys. Look at that roll. God, you could package that up and sell it to me as a pastry, and I'd love it.
I love you.
Maybe she's not so much of a daddy's girl. She's looking right at mom. Oh, she is full of milk and happy as can be. This little moon. Let's get a closer look at that moon, that red moon here. Oh, she's side-eyeing the Van fam. It's okay, Mooney. We're just getting a shot of you. She's spitting it out saying, "What are you doing, man?"
You need a
That outfit is so cute.
So cute.
Let's see here. Claire Harrison in the house. Oh my
Hi,
gosh.
Claire.
A little strawberry moon on a dark night. Joni says, "You guys are wonderful parents. She will be a lot more work when she's 3 and 4. Those pictures are just beautiful." Yeah, that's what I'm a little worried about. Okay, it's final, guys. San Francisco is advancing. They take out the Dallas Cowboys. I do like the Cowboys because I feel like, I feel like they have a lot of tough beats, but it's not their year. And big news, babe. Your thoughts? Niners advancing. Brock Purdy quarterbacking the team. What do you think?
Go Packers.
Oh, guys, this is what I'm working with when I try and talk sports.
Well,
This is what I'm working with.
I talk to you about stuff where you're just like,
Yeah,
It's mostly news about what's going on in my friends or family's life, though.
True. I don't want to hear that crap. Okay, let's see here.
You don't want that? You good?
Moon has been doing some serious projectile vomiting. She's been pooing regularly, although nothing today. She's on some formula now, and it stinks. I much prefer the breast milk poos, I must say. And I much prefer them once a week. It's even better.
Yeah, we were all worried and complaining about it, and now that we have, the grass is always greener, isn't it, on the other side?
Yeah. Man, if you asked us a month ago, "Hey, would you want that little moon to poop more?" I'd say, I'll give anything for that little moon to poop more. But now I kind of miss those once-a-week poos.
The cow jumping over the moon. No, but there's a book called Good Night Moon. I could basically recite it to her. But yes, we have some nursery rhyme books and lots of books from all of you guys that we read to her.
Bet she'll love Good Night Moon, says Word Woman.
Yeah. It's funny because a friend of ours gave us that book before we even had her.
Laura Hope is sweating so bad, it sounds like. Or she was.
Sweating? Why?
It's hot as hell, apparently. So, yeah. I watched Brant's fishing, and he had huge sand fleas. Oh, speaking of watching stuff, I am into this new show on HBO called The Last of Us, and it's a zombie show. And boy, oh boy, is it good.
Y'all know I would never watch a zombie show.
Okay, let's go over the things Allie won't watch. Sports, zombie shows, anything that's a period piece, any, sci-fi, anything like The Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter. So she basically, guess what that leaves us with? rom-coms and comedies, and the occasional action flick. But that's okay. We don't watch a ton of TV.
I'm reading a great book right now called Hunt, Gather, Parent, and I love it. I think it's wonderful. It talks about how you raise. It's like community driven raising children, and how to get kids to like help with chores without asking. And if you say it's time to get your shoes on and go, you don't ask 5,000 times. They just do it because they're a part of a family. They're part of they're a member in the family instead of they're the kids doing kid stuff and we're the adults doing adult stuff. We'll let you know how it goes in 5 years when Moon is older.
Sherry asked, do you sing her to sleep? No, but we should start doing that. That's a good idea.
You guys know that we co-sleep with her in the bed, and it's the greatest thing in the world.
She's a wiggle worm, man. I have never seen anyone sleep the way Moon sleeps. But
I just love it. I feel so happy to have her right there.
Okay, so what was I going to say? I had something good to say. At least I thought it was good. Had something to do with one of your guys' comments. Oh, it was actually a conversation I had recently about the women here are very motherly, and they'll just come up. We had one lady just come up and like with her arms out, like she saw us with Moon, and she just came up and like it was like, you know how like you come up and it's like your confidence is everything. This woman was just so confident. She's like, "Oh, I'm getting that baby," and we just turned and immediately she had the baby, and we're just like, "Woohoo!"
We were trying to eat breakfast.
Yes,
right. That's
right
what
across.
you're talking about.
Yeah.
And we were actually out on our 2-year anniversary, out having breakfast at the same place that we did. Anyways, and she was crying, and we were trying to eat. So
Bruce said lots of zombies in Portland. Sorry, keep going.
And she just came and took her and made her stop crying, and it was very wonderful because she just knew whatever she had.
Yeah, but
it worked for a little while.
We had someone in the U.S. come up and it looked like she was gonna kind of like try and touch her.
Weird. It wasn't.
And you were none too pleased about that.
I know, this seems so different, though.
Yeah, it did. I don't know why. Yeah. It just...
I feel rude now that I think about that, but this woman was like trying to help us so we could enjoy our meal.
Joni is in your camp. No Harry Potter.
No period, no.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, me too. Well, trying to learn something or trying to laugh. You know what we got into recently was New Girl, and I loved it because they're pretty funny, good episodes. Are really nice and short, so you can watch a couple or you can just watch one if you're just like feeding or something like that. But are you smiling at Mama? Hi. But they took it off Netflix or whatever that program was.
Pisses me off, I swear to you.
I was bummed because it's just a good show. I like it.
It's good old-fashioned fun, that show. Nikki says something that I wanted to highlight. You guys have been here for a long live. I enjoyed this so much. You guys look so happy. We actually are like, man, I don't know if we can go 2 hours tonight. Like, we got Moon and we need to eat. And then now I look up and it's pretty much been 2 hours. It just goes by so quick.
Oh my gosh, it has. Yeah, we're hungry and ready to eat, but Dan has it prepped, so it'll be pretty much done very soon. But we never know how Moon's gonna be. That's always a gamble, isn't it, Moonshine?
Well, right now she's got about 4 things that she does: poop, sleep, eat, and hang out for about half an hour. I mean, or an hour, something like that. Oh, okay, guys. Boop. Thank you guys for being here, and thank you for all the generous super chats.
Yes, thank you so much.
Really appreciate you guys' support
Jill
in all the different ways.
And Jean and Diana.
Charlene and Jean, right as I say it, serendipitously drop another super chat. into the old super chat box there.
Thank you very much.
Maya, your style is precious. You're so beautiful. Red hair and blue eyes and smiles melt our hearts.
Aw.
Allie and Dan, your awesome parents. Continue to heal well, Huck and Pig. You're the best. From Charlene and Jean.
Well, thank you. What do you think,
Very,
Piggy?
very generous of you guys
Thank
tonight.
you very much. That's a sweet message.
You kids have a great night, says Shelly. Thank you so much. Moonshine, says Nikki. Way to go, Charlene and Jean. That's from Chris. Your generosity is unmatched, says Bruce. That's so true.
Very true.
We appreciate all you guys for being here. I've had a lot of yawns tonight. I've set the record. I mean, I did huffing and puffing on a bike ride this morning. Really glad I did that, even though I didn't really want to go. I knew I needed to, so I did.
I went yesterday, and you encouraged me to go yesterday.
We do that for each other.
And I had so much fun that I had to encourage Dan to go today.
Yeah. And so that was good. And now, and then I went for a kite session after that. And it was blowing pretty good today. So,
but they call it the Baja midnight here, guys. It's like, I don't know, 9 p.m. A lot of people go to bed pretty early because, well, it gets dark. There's no street lights or anything. There's not a whole lot to do. And it's just kind of get in bed for the next day of activity tomorrow, which is something I'd much rather do than, I don't know, be out in the town. Not that this is a town, but, you know.
It is a town. It's a town, baby.
It's a town.
It's a growing town. A lot of new restaurants in town. We'll take you guys on some of our food adventures, I think, in one episode, because there's a lot of really
do you guys have any
food.
questions or things that you want to see here in Baja? We'd love to film them for you. We have some ideas, obviously, but we thought we would, I don't know, see.
Yeah, I peeled and deveined about an exact kilogram of shrimp earlier, and it was disgusting. And now I'm going to go eat them. You have to devein shrimp, though, because it's so gross. When you see sometimes people say, oh, you don't need to devein shrimp. That, to me, is, so disgusting. Oh. And deveining shrimp is, peeling shrimp. Shrimp is not, it's a tedious process to process shrimp.
That's why it's so expensive, no?
No, it should be cheaper because it's such a pain in the butt. Or if I'm paying $13 for a kilogram, it should be deveined and peeled for me, I feel, because that's a very high price. They are fresh shrimp caught here locally, so it's it's all good. But golly, it's a lot of work. I was like, man, maybe I should film this, and I was like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to remember this. But we got a lot of good stuff planned for you guys, and
Bruce wants to see Kelly arguing with her new man. That's so funny.
Not too far out of the reality of possibilities there, Bruce.
Is it?
Well, I don't know. We probably won't see it, but I could maybe wait outside their window. Every couple fights. If you're not fighting or having arguments or whatever, you got worse problems, I think. Shoot, you chewed my ass not a few days ago. No.
About what?
I don't remember.
You're going to cut it out with that phrase. Dan, it's like one of Dan's favorite phrases.
I got chewed out. Chewed my butt. Okay, guys. That's it for tonight. We appreciate you being here. 2 hours in the books.
Thank you guys for being here.
Let's say goodbye from Moon one more time.
Can you say bye-bye?
Bye, Mooney.
Bye-bye.
Hi, Mooney. Oh, hi, Mooney. Yeah, you like that voice. She's waving at the Van Fam.
Say bye-bye.
She's literally waving, guys. Okay, guys, we'll see you again real soon. Good night.